Let's answer the question real quick. If being a good person gets you used. For those of you who are watching this video on Rumble or YouTube, let me show you the meme that I found. So it says, sorry to say this, but being a good person doesn't get you loved. It gets you used. What do you think about that? What attitude is at the root of a meme like that? Well, I'll tell you what attitude is at the root of a meme like that. It's the attitude that being good means being weak, naive, dumb, stupidly self-harmful in generosity and giving. The person who wrote this meme is equating goodness with being a naive sucker. A weak, naive sucker. Let's read the meme again. Sorry to say this, but being a good person doesn't get you loved. It gets you used. What are they equating good with? They're equating good with weakness, being dumb, being naive, being overly generous to one's own detriment. In other words, being a big old dumb sucker. So in this formula, bad people then would be strong, smart, wise, advantageous, industrious, clever, and never generous to the point of self-detriment. So what's the real problem? The real problem is the person is using a concept of goodness inappropriately. Being good ain't the same as being weak, naive, dumb, stupidly generous to one's own detriment. It's not being a sucker. So there's a logical fallacy. That's what it is. Here are some of my qualities that I regularly apply to others and regularly apply here in my work with Last Symptom. Number one, I don't do more for others than they're doing for themselves. I never do it. So if you want my help, I am happy to help you, but you have to be doing more than I'm going to do. That's number one. Number two, I don't tolerate fake helplessness. Number three, I don't quote unquote help people in ways that support their unhealth. I don't help people in ways that support things that are bad for them. So any destructive form of thinking, any destructive type of lifestyle, any destructive types of attitudes, any destructive types of behaviors, I don't support those no matter how good it might make me feel in the moment. In the long term, I'll feel terrible because I'll say, oh, well, that wasn't very nice of me. I'm hurting that person more than helping them. Number four, I'm not a slave to sentiment. In other words, I don't allow sentiment to override critical, honest thought, healthy laws and principles. So you take these four things that I've just said. Now, what would the person who wrote this meme that we were just talking about, what would their conclusion be of me? I must be a bad guy, right? I must be a really bad guy. Now, if you were describing the good person, good in the sense that they're thinking, what would that person be like? Weak, codependent, naive, let people walk all over them, support people in unhealthy ways, and then be shocked when the person isn't grateful for it. Giving at the expense of one's own well-being, right? Whether that be time, attention, money, whatever, affection, given, not taking care of yourself. In other words, you're neglecting yourself in order to provide that to somebody else. And the person who wrote this meme says that that's a good person. That's a good person. Well, whether you're doing it for good intentions or not, that's not a good person. That's a weak, naive, dumb, stupidly self-harmful, in generosity and giving, sucker. So don't be fooled by memes like that. The person has no concept of what being a good person is. And so, therefore, have no idea what they're talking about.